Our world is rife with mysteries and enigmas. Through the years, a myriad of wondrous events have occurred and thousands of amazing discoveries have been made. We can never be quite sure what lies beyond the horizon. Between archaeological wonders and the rapid development of technology, there is an unbound potential for our future. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we'll be taking a look at 3 recent discoveries. Stephen Hawking warned artificial intelligence could end mankind. For years, Hollywood has played on our fear of technology matching or surpassing human evolution, but in recent years, some of the world's leading minds in AI have confirmed that these feelings are not entirely unwarranted. While many believe that humans can remain in control of technology and use it to solve a multitude of problems, the late Stephen Hawking was wary. While he agreed that technological advancement promoted extraordinary progress in so many long-standing global issues, he also suggested that our biological evolution, which is comically slow in comparison to the rate at which an algorithm can redesign itself, simply could not compete. Others have similar reservations. Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and Steve Wozniak are also worried about the danger that rapid technology advancements present. These are the minds that pioneer the technology frontier. Hawking, who was told as early as 1963 that he didn't have much longer to live, passed only a few years ago in 2018. He is widely known as the most brilliant theoretical physicist of his time, often being compared to the likes of Einstein. Hawking believed that AI was a life in and of itself that could improve and reproduce itself. He warns that computers could in fact replace the human species entirely. The astrophysicist felt, however, that there were in fact many man-made potential threats to humankind. Climate change, overpopulation, and the risks of communicating with life outside of our planet among them. Hawking was quoted at the Web Summit Technology Conference in Portugal, saying that success in creating effective AI could be the biggest event in the history of our civilization. Or the worst. We just don't know. So we cannot know if we will be infinitely helped by AI, or ignored by it and sidelined, or conceivably destroyed by it. In order to prevent the worst-case scenario, Hawking suggested that we aggressively focus on legislature to establish boundaries that will help keep us safe by implementing best practices and responsible management. Artificial intelligence is a revolutionary advancement that can be used to solve so many of the world's problems. But when AI is able to imitate natural intelligence and impersonate consciousness, as well as it has over the past few years, it does make some people a little uncomfortable. We have no way of knowing what AI holds for us in the future. So many of our anxieties simply stem from a general fear of the unknown. The best way forward is cautiously, optimistically, and with an eye for progress and a heart for altruism. And who knows, maybe Siri ends up being exactly as harmless as you thought all along. Artificial intelligence evolved creepy images to please a monkey's brain. Xdream is an artificial intelligence algorithm thought up by the brains of Harvard. Its purpose is to stimulate specific neurons in a monkey's brain that are associated with facial recognition. The equation is then adjusted as the primate watches a screen that spits out images representative of which neurons were firing. This works by shuffling images and, depending on how strong the neurological response is, using that information to create a new set of synthetic images. This particular test was done on a monkey named Ringo in April of 2018. Gradually, the screen went from showing grey and shapeless images to ones that the researchers found much easier to interpret. While the visuals are unnerving and obscure to the human eye, they obviously resemble aspects of facial features. The neuroscientists started recognizing what they think could be the images of a monkey kept in a nearby vicinity and a caretaker that looks after them, the aforementioned Ringo, regularly came into contact with. The experiment is meant to provide a range of forms and a visual lexicon that is impartial to our human viewpoint. While it is impossible to remove human perspective entirely, in terms of interpretation of data, This study has eliminated a lot of the biases that previously neuroscientists were working against. They were even able to limit their partiality in interpretation by running the provoked images through another algorithm that compared the synthetic images with natural photos to confirm whether they were actually seeing the characteristics of a face that they thought they were. The accounts of the Sea People. Though there were many ancient civilizations that had existed during the 12th century BC, suddenly and quite unexpectedly, nearly every civilization was wiped from the face of the earth except the cities of Egypt. This phenomenon was recorded as the Late Bronze Age collapse that soon bled into the early Greek Dark Ages, as only small villages of humanity survived this sudden catastrophe. For many decades, the cause of such an occurrence had widely been unknown and shrouded in mystery. That was until the ancient language of the Egyptian hieroglyphics had been decoded and allowed us to read the historical records captured at the time by the last standing ancient civilization. This record has led to countless theories and endless debate amongst Egyptologists, classic historians, and archaeologists since its findings. Reportedly, by the historical accounts of the ancient Egyptians, armies of what had been referred to at the time as Sea People attacked and demolished the cities of man. In fact, the descriptions of the armies of the Sea People describe monsters and giants coming from the oceans and waging war against all of civilization. The reasoning for why this sudden onslaught had occurred has yet to be better understood. But what is all the more surprising is the vast conspiracy surrounding the events. Accounts continue of the Egyptians attempting to track the source of the beasts that appeared humanoid in nature and found hundreds of footprints leaving and coming from the beaches of the Mediterranean Sea. Today, after uncovering vast art depicting the battles, documents detailing the events, and further evidence of war and tactics used against the destroyed and forgotten civilizations of the past, the proof of the account of the Sea People appears to be overwhelming in nature. As a matter of fact, the events are so overwhelming that the discussion surrounding the event in the scientific community has been completely shut down, and further theories or attempts at uncovering the truth are treated with both disdain and ridicule. Regardless of this ridicule, however, many researchers continue to attempt to understand the mysteries of the Sea People and remain restless in their pursuits. Perhaps one day we will better understand whether these accounts are of mythology or true history. Until then, the accounts of the Sea People are shrouded in creepy events and terrifying mysteries.